Hello and welcome to our English news coming to you from Canal, Algérie. First, the top stories of the news. The Intra-African Trade Fair kicks off in Algeria in quest of better cooperation and integration, and the President of the Republic reiterates Algeria's will to spearhead development in the continent via joint project. The fourth edition of the IATF Fair opens with an important national and foreign participation of companies. A 7.2 GDP growth is recorded by Algeria, denoting the positive impact of the investment strategy and reforms initiated by the state. And the giant stride for the national football team towards the 2026 World Cup after defeating Botswana with 3-1. Welcome back. First to our news. The President of the Republic, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, chaired in Algiers the opening session of the Intra-African Trade Fair. The event took place in the presence of heads of state and delegations taking part in the IATF. In address to the participants, the President of the Republic indicated that this event is not a mere economic get-together, but it embodies the collective consciousness driving the continents towards integration, highlighting the importance of unity while mobilizing the continent's energies for sustainable development, worth recalling that this edition is marked by the participation of 140 countries and 2,000 African enterprises, including 200 Algerian companies. And during the opening ceremony, the President of the Republic, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, made a potent speech in which he tackled several issues and challenges facing the African continent. The gist of the speech with Melissa Leila Balaman.
The President of the Republic, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, stressed that this edition is taking place in a global context of extreme sensitivity, where events are unfolding at an unprecedented pace and risks are multiplying to the point of threatening the collapse of the current system of international relations. He warned that Africa, despite its immense resources, capabilities and potential, might once again become one of the main victims of these deteriorating conditions.
الخشية كل الخشية أن تكون إفريقيا قارتنا العزيزة مرة أخرى إحدى أبرز ضحايا هذه الأوضاع المتدهورة رغم ما تختزنه من مقدرات وإمكانيات وطاقات. مساهمة الجزائر تتمثل في أوجه عديدة.
The President then explained that Algeria's contribution took many forms. He cited, among others, the major structural projects of continental scope already undertaken by the country, the reinforcement of communication channels with African states, in particular through the launch of a railway line that would extend to our neighboring countries in the south, and Algeria's role in providing the necessary conditions for intra-African trade, notably by establishing 5 free trade zones with Maghreb and Sahel countries. He underlined that today efforts were being made to make up for the shortcomings and negative effects of the past.
المساهمة في توفير مقومات التجارة البينية الإفريقية لا سيما عبر إنشاء 5 مناطق للتبادل الحر مع الدول الشقيقة في المغرب العربي ومنطقة الساحل الصحراوي. اليوم نتدارك ما فتنا من سلبيات. نناضل من أجل تنمية إفريقية حقيقية.
The President of the Republic further emphasized that Algeria was fighting for genuine African development. He declared that Africa was not a testing ground for foreign weapons, but a continent in urgent need of growth. He insisted that anyone who truly wanted to curb migration should support Africa in developing its own countries and in creating job opportunities for its young people.
فرص العمل للشباب الإفريقي.
The President of the Republic speaking at the opening session of the IATF. Other speakers took then the floor, including the former Nigerian President and the Chairman of the Advisory Council of the IATF, Olusegun Obasanjo, who hailed Algeria's efforts, and those of President Abdelmajid Tebboune for holding this event. For her part, the Vice President of the AU Commission, Salma Haddadi, indicated that Algeria has always served as a model for African countries, working closely with them to achieve development. The Secretary General of the African Trade Area, Wam Kelly Mini, commended Algeria's efforts on the continental level. And finally, the chairman of the Afrexim Bank indicated that the holding of this event by Algeria denotes Africa's trust in this country. Later in the day, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, conducted a debate session that brought together African leaders and revolved around key issues and files, including the Palestinian cause, as well as the challenges besetting the African continent. More details with Melissa Lila Balaman once again.
The talks during this roundtable discussion focused on Africa's future, the means to strengthen and unify efforts, and the challenges that must be overcome to achieve the goals set for this continental gathering. The forum was seen as an opportunity to seize the prospects offered by the fair in order to foster the complementarity and integration envisioned for the peoples of the continent. Humanitarian concerns were also raised, particularly the plight of peoples enduring oppression and injustice, with the Palestinian cause highlighted as one that must be defended in accordance with both law and human principles. President Abdelmajid Tebboune affirmed Algeria's solidarity with the daily suffering of the Palestinian people, whether in Gaza or in the West Bank. He reiterated with absolute clarity that what was happening amounted to a genocide. He stressed that the Middle East conflict could only be resolved through the establishment of a Palestinian state within its internationally recognized 1967 borders, insisting that this remained the sole solution. In their interventions, the African leaders outlined the most pressing challenges facing their countries, as well as the complex international and regional situations marked by crises and conflicts. They stressed that these circumstances should not hinder Africa's collective resolve to move forward as a strong, united bloc and to realize the long-awaited project of continental integration. President Mohamed Ould Sheikh Al-Ghazouani of Mauritania thanked the gathering for uniting leaders around shared priorities such as production capacity, industrial policy, and economic diversification. He said this common vision supported their determination to advance the African continental free trade area and help build a more integrated and competitive Africa. President Mohamed Idriss Déby of Chad voiced hope that the Trans-Saharan Highway could be extended to his country to secure access to the Mediterranean and boost African trade. He also thanked President Abdelmajid Tebboune for his efforts to strengthen intra-African exchanges and global partnerships. President Kais Saied of Tunisia said they were not dealing with a mere sectoral project, but with the future of an entire continent, even of humanity. He described it as a civilizational project that went beyond trade, founded on new thinking and modern concepts forged within Africa itself. President Daniel Chapo of Mozambique stated Africans would continue their joint struggle for full freedom. He stressed that the event showed they were one people, capable of building real strength through the continental free trade area, and that their efforts now focused on creating a free trade zone reflecting Africa's unity and ambition. The president of Libya's Presidential Council, Mohamed Yunus al-Menfi, affirmed that the highway project linking Libyan ports to landlocked neighbors reflected his country's commitment to African integration, adding that Libya's hydrocarbon and renewable energy projects would help reduce the continent's energy deficit. Other speakers took the floor as well, tackling Algeria's multifaceted challenges and stressing the need for union, cooperation, and integration for sustainable development.
And before the opening session of the IATF, the former Nigerian president and the chairman of the advisory council of the IATF, Olusegun Obasanjo, offered the director of Afrexim Bank a symbolic gift handed to him by the President of the Republic Al-Majd Tebboune. On the occasion, Obasanjo hailed the efforts of Algeria, and President Tebboune meant to boost development and cooperation in Africa. For his part, the President of the Republic commended the efforts of the Nigerian former President to consolidate cooperation and integration in the African continent. Always ahead of the IATF opening session, the President of the Republic Al-Majd Tebboune took a souvenir photo with the African leaders taking part in this major African event. Worth recalling and noting that Nigeria will host the upcoming edition of the Intra-African Trade Fair. The President of the Republic Al-Majd Tebboune chaired the inauguration ceremony of the Intra-African Trade Fair at the Exhibition Palace here in Algiers. The event took place in the presence of African leaders, members of government and other senior officials. In a statement, the head of state indicated that this event is not a mere economic one, but it embodies real consciousness of the continent to attain development and integration on the basis of its natural resources. This fair is marked by the participation of 40 countries and more than 2,000 African companies. Then the President of the Republic inspected several pavilions of the fair and was provided by explanations by the national and foreign exhibitors. He made a stopover at the electronic products stand and the African pavilion and that of major projects and listened to a detailed explanation about their achievements in the country. The National Office for Statistics released a report indicating that a 7.2% increase in Algeria's gross domestic product during 2024, an unprecedented rise, denoting the good performance of the national economy and the efficiency of the strategies adopted by the state based on investment, the Investments Code, and the reforms engaged by the high authorities. On the occasion of celebrating the Al-Mawlid Al-Nabawi Al-Sharif, or the Prophet's birthday anniversary, the Religious Affairs Ministry announced the decision of organizing the President's International Award relating to the Prophet's itinerary. On the occasion, we wish you happy Mawlid. Sports now. The Algerian football team made the giant strides towards the 2026 World Cup final stage after defeating the side of Botswana with 3-1, a victory that keeps the Desert Warriors at the top of Group G with 18 points. All the best for the national team. Once again, happy Mawlid. Take care, keep tuning to our channel, and bye-bye for now.